or share a game that I played in, well, maybe I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it, okay? It's just doing funny things to me. All right, this is a game I played back in 2014 in the first round of the United States Amateur. I played in it. This is in Tucson, Arizona. I played 2 years in a row. I won the senior prize the first year for those of us 50 and older at the age of 59. The following year, I won the tournament outright. I had 4 wins and 2 draws. And I have a blog post up at chess.com that has all 6 of my games. Maybe I'll do some videos of those at some point. I don't know. But I did start a blog, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, and I never finished. I just got busy. And this was my first round game in 2014. And I was hoping that my opponent would become a strong player. You know, I'd have a nice scalp in my hands. And Dave Mohan did indeed break 2,200. I'm assuming he stayed up there since. I don't know. I think he did it about a year ago. But this was a fun game, and again, I want to share it, and I'll try to get to the point where I broke off from the blog and I never finished. Originally I was going to do it in several parts, asking questions. Then I recall I was kind of sour, and some people got in an argument in that blog. I don't remember what about, but anyway, to make a long story short, I didn't finish, but I'm going to finish it here now and throw up a video on it, and maybe I'll post it in there. Here's the link. You can see the whole thing. I'm not going to finish the blog because I just don't have time. Okay, so what am I doing here with black? Well, I'm playing this system that I developed I call the star system. Now I'm sure it has a fashionable name. Star, it stands for well, you know, I've changed various things over the years. My handle, all rats backward is star. Okay, the star. S is for 2 people named Stacy have been in my life that are very special. T, my wife Tricia. A, my sister Ann. R, my last name Richards. Okay, so just trying to find things to name a chess opening after. But the essence of the star system, it can be played as white or black. There's the star attack and then the star defense. Honestly, it doesn't lead to too much, but I like to experiment. It doesn't lead to much on the higher level. It's fine on a lower level. Essentially, if you follow my chess, this is similar to the King's Indian attack. The difference is that you're not going, as white, if you're playing the star attack, you're not going to fianchetto this bishop. And if you're playing the King's Indian defense, you're not going to fianchetto that bishop. And it has some subtle differences. But essentially, black's setup, if you're playing the star defense, if you're white, it's the star attack. Let me get rid of those arrows. Okay. You're going to bring these 2 pawns up. The queen will come out. This pawn will come up to e5. This bishop will come to g4, ideally attacking a knight on f3. Okay, now we're not done. This knight will go to d7. This knight will go to f6. This bishop will go to e7. And then black decides, does he want to castle kingside or queenside? And then you play from there. And you can play this as white or black. And again, I've experimented with it. Against higher rated players, you know, white can't hold for much. But anyway, I mean, the star doesn't hold for much, but it's a system. Okay, so here, we'll see how this plays out here. Okay, so there's the first 3 moves. And now if I want, I can play e5 right now and hit that bishop. But I don't. And now I can't, but I can play bishop g4. That's what I do. And now the knight comes here. And now we back up. Okay, now, in a King's Indian attack, or King's Indian defense, where you're going to fianchetto this bishop, we can't make this retreat, because the bishop is going to be trapped. But here we can do it. Okay, let's move forward. He decides to spend a tempo and come back, because he thinks I'm going to kick him. And I am. I'm kicking its ghost, so to speak, attacking the ghost of the bishop. And now, except for having to spend a move keeping my bishop safe, I have demonstrated the essence of the star system, or the star defense. So, in 9 moves, black has got all four minor pieces developed, got the queen out, just needs to decide which side to castle. And for the most part, if you adopt this system, you're going to castle king side, and just like in regular chess. If you're of the swashbuckling type, you will wait until your opponent castles and then castle the opposite side, and then proceed to conduct a pawn storm. Now, I've had disciples or students play this system, and I've seen them castle queenside, and they usually face an attack pretty quickly. So it's up to your temperament. There's no right or wrong way to play this. But the nice thing about this is the star system is black can pretty much play it against any opening. Now, unless white is directly challenging the center, sometimes you'll see these pawns traded off. But black can almost play this against anything. You can play it against the Larsons, 1b3. You can play it against the birds, 1f4. So if you just want a playable game and not put out the effort to study openings, or if you're new to chess and you want to get a playable game and then learn openings as you go, the star system may be exactly what you want. Okay, so white castles, and then I'm going to castle king side too, because that's the safe approach. Okay, let's see, he plays his rook to c1. So here his idea is he wants it on the same file as the queen. Now, this pawn on c6 is one of the anchors of black's position, because it's keeping the knight out. Now, see, what do I do here? I elect to put my rook on the same file as his queen, because I know in a lot of positions this exchange is made. And he plays e4. So, in effect, white has lost a tempo here. It did take him 2 moves to play e4. And this move h3 actually helps black. Why, you ask? Well, because one of the goals is we want this bishop on c8 to go to g4, h5, and g6 and commence putting pressure on e4. So I'm ready to attack it right now. That's probably what I did. Yeah, I did. Now, white is faced with the loss of a pawn. He must take action. So he chooses to play bishop d3. Okay, my turn. And I decide to play queen b6. Now, it looks like it's a fork. It looks like I'm attacking here and attacking here. But let's see what white does. But white throws a Zwischenzug at me and saves the pawn from being captured. I take back with the pawn naturally. And now he plays queen e2, developing his queen. Okay, so here's a quiz. I'm pretty sure this is where I left off in my blog, 2 or 3 years ago. What's black's best move here? And I never gave a clue. I'm not sure if anybody found it. I don't remember. I wrote this thing 2 or 3 years ago. But how should black continue here? And it really became a really fun game for black. So the clue I'll give you, I'm going to give a clue here. Which white piece is undefended? Find it and attack it. So you look at this and say, well, gee, let's see. The king is protected. The rook is protected. Both the rooks are protecting. The queen's protected. All the pawns are protected. The minor pieces are protected. The pawn, everything's protected. So it's kind of a trick question. But there is one white chessman who is not protected. And I've actually made this statement in earlier videos. The defensive power of a pinned piece is purely imaginary. This bishop on g3 is not protected. It looks like it is, but it isn't.